This week, we witnessed MR cars destroying themselves in Daily Race A. Daily Race B, we decided to go on the outside at the corkscrew, and in Daily Race C, we make it 3 wide because why the hell not? Let's have fun. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Gran Turismo Weekly Race Guide here in 2024, week 52. We're very much towards the end of the year now, and we start with a meme race. Yes, the meme race is back. If you do enjoy this one, flat out, no braking, this is the race for you. What exactly are we doing then? So it's 1 lap of Special Stage Route X, which does mean lots of bump drafting and the potential of some massive crashes. It's a rolling start, sports soft tyres, and the cars are hand-picked. So you just pick out the cars on the list, you enter, and off you go. But make sure you have the nitrous button mapped. Now, some of you will not like this race and have never liked this race, and that's absolutely fine. Guess what? There's some timestamps there for you to jump to Daily Race B or Race C if you want some actual racing where it involves the brake pedal. But for some of you, you just want to go flat out. So this is why we are going to be doing Daily Race A. And I quite enjoy this one as well. So in terms of the key statistics, we've used this track 5 times. Now I've got a question mark next to the 5 on the track and car combo because I'm not exactly sure if all 5 will be using these cars. I know there's been a slight variation there as well. So 5 question mark. We last used this on the 19th of August. Now, the MR cars can be a little bit sketchy when you go onto the banking, so do be careful. And small bumps do equal and will equal big crashes. Again, make sure your nitrous button is mapped to a button that you prefer to press when you want to absolutely nuke it towards the finish line. But without further ado, let's jump into this race and let's see how I got on and how many big crashes actually happen. Here we are then at the start of the first race, and we've got a mixture of cars here. That's powering the Lamborghini Aventador there. We've got the Mercedes-AMG Black Series. Look at this for a weird bug. No idea what's happening at the start of my game there, but we had that weird shadowing effect. You know, very odd. We'll kick off the race. I'd advise you don't use an nitrous at the start unless you're really going to drop off from the back of the pack, depending on which car you choose, of course. Some have slow acceleration, like this Mazda RX-7 that I'm in, and some have quicker accelerations, like the NSX apparently up ahead. I assume the Mercedes-AMG Black Series also very good at acceleration. We'll just fast forward a little bit here. We're already a minute into this race, and everybody is slowly catching up to each other as we head towards the banking, and over towards left-hand side I go. This was because I saw the NSX ahead, and I know MR cars are sketchy. There is a sketchiness. They've already binned it. Yes, they are off the circuit there. They've gone for a big crash, but we continue on here in the pack on the outside line. So we're going to fall into line then for the second straight here. The long straight. It's all about trying to get in the slipstream train and setting yourself up for the final corner. So that's what everyone is trying to do here right now. You know, we're all trying to get into line, get into position and ready. So I ended up falling back a little bit because I was on the outside. And this is where I'm starting to prep now. So I can see the last corner coming up, and I couldn't remember exactly where to hit nitrous. So I've hit it really early here, well before the corner on the inside line I'm going to go here. And as we go into here, then there's a slight bit of contact there with the Pagani Huayra, who goes absolutely flying as we continue on the inside. There we've got Andy Zoff up ahead. I can't really go towards that outside line where I really want to go because of our cars on my left-hand side. As we continue on through that nitrous going down and down and down on the right-hand side. But just like in Fast and Furious, you're seeing it right now. It's a too soon junior moment here because we head towards the line and we are going to drop off. And I'm going to scream, no, Monica! Yeah, I did do that. And maybe I'll make a short of it. I have no idea, but I just found it hilarious. So P7 in the end. So make sure you use the nitrous a little bit later on. Now, it is a fun race. There are going to be big crashes. It's not very long, so it's one of those meme races. Jump in and have some fun. I'm giving it 7 out of 10. Some of you are like, that is shocking, Tid. Why is 7 out of 10? Because it's Gran Turismo. We're here to have fun. This race can have fun, and all the details are down below. We jump to Daily Race B then, because A doesn't need a track guide, and if it does, well, unfortunate for you. Anyway, Daily Race B here, Laguna, Seca, Group 3 machinery. We're doing 5 laps. It's a rolling start on racing medium tyres, times 1 fuel and tyre wear, and you can adjust that brake balance in the cars. Now, this is the bot track that I used, if you remember, in my car profiles. I very much did a lot of testing here, and all the cars are very close. So a large portion of them are, at least. So do pick a car you enjoy. I've used this track 12 times, only 4 times though for Group 3, and there is a reason for that. So we last used this on the 18th of November. The corkscrew can be very dangerous, even more so in Group 3 cars. You're doing it a little bit quicker, weight transfer is a bit more extreme, and it does seem a bit slippy on this combo. I'm not sure whether it's time of day or whatever, but the rear wants to always step out, even though we're on racing medium tyres. Anyway, I chose that Porsche 911. Let's jump into this race and let's see exactly what happens. Here we are at the start of the next one. Then lots of Porsche in this one. But that was because it was originally like near the top of the leaderboards. Again, pick whatever car you like here. A large portion of cars are very competitive. And what you like to do, and what I would love as a Christmas gift from you, is a like. And if you are not subscribed, to do that, because that supports the channel, tells me you like the content, and it will also keep you informed of new content. Unfortunately, there, Gianni's gone round. We'll have a look at that one in the bloopers at the end of the video to see exactly what happened to Gianni there. Through the right we go here then, and then side by side up ahead, we've got Blue Racer and Hood Your Line as we head towards the left hand here. I go around the outside here, trying a 2-for-1 on the outside at Laguna Seca. That is a corner you can try going around on the outside. A bit of contact on the exit there, just a bit squirrely here as we go into the left-hander. And look at it, side by side again, and we make it work, but brilliant racing there from the Beetle driver as well. And you can see in the camera, Penny's made an appearance there. So hello to Penny as we go into the braking zone. Then get the corkscrew, get a slight tap from the back there. They just outbrought themselves a little bit. Nothing major here. Managed to catch it then. We continue on through here. Blue Racer looking down the inside on this left-hander. Very hard to get that one done, especially on that tight of a line. But Blue Racer has kept it there. We're on the inside now for the right-hander. We're going to defend that position. And we maintain P9. So quite a hectic start here to the race. Even so, the rolling start is atrocious at this circuit. Gran Turismo, be ashamed of that part of this race. It needs to be fixed. Please just fix it. We saw it fixed in the World Finals. Fix it here now in daily races so everyone can enjoy a decent start. Anyway, through the left we go there. I did back off a little bit behind Shelty in the infamous Beetle, and Shelty nailed that corner to perfection. My word, that was good. In towards corkscrew we go then, and out we go as well. Anything happening here? Nothing major as we go into the left-hander. Blue Racer still over my exhaust here, taking a wide the line through this corner. I'm going to run a little bit wide there. Unfortunately, I went all 4 wheels off the circuit, so I'm going to have dirt on my tyres. You can see that already with the car getting a little bit squirrely then as we head towards the hairpin. Blue Racer looks down the inside, going to send it down the inside as well, leaving some room on that inside line for Blue Racer. We go on the exit there. The car still all over the place with the dirty tyres, and Blue Racer gets that position from me there, so we're down to P10 now as we head towards turn 1. Blue Racer's going to defend the inside line here as we head there now. I'm going to try around the outside. Very hard to do this one. Not really an overtaking spot around the outside here at Laguna Seca as we continue on out. And some people are going, team, that's turn 2. I know there's a kink in this, effectively the start finish straight. I don't count it as turn 1. I'm sorry if that breaks the official guidelines, but it is what it is. Anyway, we managed to catch on the exit there as we did get a bit squirrely of turn 1. And Marisonic nearly had a look. In towards the left we go then. Unfortunately, Blue Racer clips that old sausage curb, and we retake that position then. And up ahead, Shelty's having a go at a Porsche 911. Effectively, it's 2 Porsches up ahead, isn't it? Or 2 Beetles, should we say? Not quite sure. Anyway, around the outside of Shelty at the corkscrew. Yeah, that was a really nice move by me, if I do say so myself. I just saw what was happening and thought I'd placed my car in the right place at the right time, and it did. It just worked out well. Slight upon booming there. That was my mistake. Apologies to booming here. As we head towards this last corner, I'm looking down the inside here, looking to get the car stopped. Unfortunately, there's a slight tap there. Now, looking at it now, likely that was actually a non-issue. However, at the time, I thought that was very much my fault. So, yeah, I did sort of try and get towards left-hand side to let Booming go, which Booming is ahead of me here. So, no harm, no foul. As we head towards turn 1, Mario Sonic looking round the outside in towards turn 1. I'm trying to keep it there, though. And Mario Sonic defends this beautifully because I can't really accelerate that quickly out the corner because Mario Sonic is just there. And I could have ended up unsteering it into them. So, Mario Sonic benefiting from that situation as we continue on through. Booming with all sorts of pressure here. Certainly the cork in the bottle as you can look in the rear view there. We've got cars behind me. Oh, speaking of rear view, look at Blue Racer all over the place as we head towards this fast left-hander. So the pressure building here for Booming as we go into the left-hander. All they've got to do is defend for 1.5 more laps, which is very much possible here at Laguna Seca. It's very hard to overtake as we go into the left-hander. And unfortunately for them, they clipped the sausage, or I believe they did anyway. We'll have a look at the bloopers, of course. And they go off the circuit. So now Mario Sonic is the new cork in the bottle then as we approach the corkscrew here. Chelsea on the outside of Blue Racer behind then. Through the right we go of that corkscrew. A little bit of a wiggle there as we go into the left-hander. Now, can I overtake it? Oh, Mario Sonic clipped the sausage. Do not clip sausages on this circuit because it is very, very, very deadly. Round the outside of the camber corner, I'm going to try here. Going to be in the inside for the hairpin here at Laguna Seca. The final turn here. we get the job done. So up into P7 as we go towards the final lap. And we just merged towards that final lap where we do catch up to Bembo. I think Bembo had a bit of an issue on the lap as well. We do steal that fastest lap, though, from Huggy. And congratulations to Huggy for winning that race. Now, in terms of scores, I've only given it a 3 out of 10. This is where my scores do fall foul of the whole 1 or 0 score system. But you can see why down below, especially the start type. That's atrocious. It really is. Now, to the lap guide, I've done this track many times. Brake balance in that right-hand side corner. You can see that on the graphic right there if you are interested. So in terms of turn 1, you've got the start of the tarmac, end of the sand on the right-hand side. That's what I use as a brake marker. You can try and brake at the 3 board, but you're going to go a bit deep. So if you are trying to do the V shape rather than the tight line, and I highly recommend the tight line on Gran Turismo, literally the 3 board is for V. The gravel ending and tarmac beginning is the tight line, as you can see here. It's very much tight. Call it a U more than a V on the tight line and a V for the out and in sort of line. That's up to you. Pick the letter of your choice. Anyway, the right-hander here, you got 3 markers you can use. You got the 2 board, you got the start of the gravel, end of the sand, or you got the tannoy system on the right-hand side. Pick and choose what you like. I highly advise you brake a bit earlier in this particular scenario, only because it's a bit slippy on exit, so I'm trying to keep the car balanced as I go through here. We head towards the end of sector 1. Start of sector 2, the fast right-hander. This is a very easy one to get wrong. So the tannoy system on the left is what I'm using at the moment. You can try and use the end of the curb, but it's a bit too far in Group 3. However, you may find a car where you do have to go that little bit further. So that's why I'm pointing it out right there. So let's go through here, trying to avoid that sausage. So I started accelerating, saw I was going to understeer off, so I lifted off a little bit, and then I managed to continue on through the corner. On the right side, it's just after the 3 board. You got these white squares on the concrete, and they are actually very helpful. So this one is straight after the 3 board, and we'll actually see the 3 board when we go to the chase cam. But literally, I use that as my brake marker. And on chase cam, you can use the 3 board because it's literally right there. But even so, I use that second gear. I go for a later apex here, and I did get a bit of oversteer on that one, so try not to do that. But it's nicely cambered. Later apex will allow you to get a better exit. The kink, a very hard corner. We saw a couple of people go off in the race here. So the 2 board is what I use here. Sometimes I will try and push myself to go to the white square on the right just after the 2. Very difficult to do that and nail it though. So I highly advise you brake a bit earlier here. Use that 2 board, and you can see that I roll a little bit. Make sure I go into the dip, and then I start accelerating. We head towards the corkscrew now. This one is very much brake earlier than you think. I was doing this in time trial this morning, and I was literally kept out braking myself. The pickup truck is what I normally use, and I don't know why I wasn't using it this morning, but the pickup truck is bang on the money in Group 3. Use it. Remember, you're braking uphill, so the later you brake, the more significant or more deep you're going to go, because you'll hit the crest of the hill, and suddenly you're not going uphill, you're going downhill. So just be careful there. Be careful of track limits as well. Red and white curbing are track limits at the Laguna Seca, so you can cut it a bit more at the corkscrew than I did. Let's go through this left-hander. The tree is very prominent in your vision on the left-hand side is your dab of the brake marker. You may want to just try and lift and go through it, but I find that difficult. I dab a brake, just rotates the car a little bit. And that's what I'm going to do right there. So there's the dab of the brake, and then it turns in. Look at that, nice and easy. Accelerate through the corner, over towards the left-hand side then. Now you've got the scoreboard on the left-hand side. Not exactly sure what you call that on the left, but the big old structure there. Alternatively, you've got the 2 board or the starter and red and white curbing. You can see I'm braking just before I get there. And the reason for this corner is cambered. So I try and attack it a little bit more by getting on the inside and using the camber. And you can see that right there. Look at that, right on the inside of the corner. I can carry the most speed there. The more wider you go, the less speed you can carry. And it's just more horrible, and you lose a lot more time. So as we approach the final corner, the building on the left, the end of it, is what I use as a brake marker. You can use the white square I highlighted there, or the 3 board, but I find the building, it's just that little bit earlier, that bit more consistent for me. That's why I hit the brakes there. I turn in, I start to accelerate. Be careful on exit. In some of the front-engined rear-wheel drive cars especially, you will suffer so much power oversteer on exit. So yeah, just be careful with that. The Porsche, obviously, weight over the rear, balance straight out the corner. We jump to Daily Race C then, where I'm in that Lamborghini Huracan Group 4 car. Of course I am. When we're doing 11 laps at Catalunya, but without the chicane, so that it's a good layout. Rolling start, racing medium tyres. You do have to pit at least once here though. Tyres 1 fuel, tyres 4 tyre wear. And once again, you can adjust that brake balance. So I mentioned the Lamborghini Huracan. It's the complete meta car in Group 4 at the moment. So that's what I've chosen right there. In terms of the key statistics, we've used this track 8 times. Only once for this car and track combo. So it's definitely not top 10 used combo. And we last used this track on the 4th of November. Track limits. So there are some limit issues in small cars, because these are smaller cars than the Group 3 counterparts. And there is one car to rule them all. And it's that car right there, the Raging Bull of the Lamborghini Huracan. Let's jump into this race then, and let's see how it goes and the strategy you should choose when you do this race. Right, here we are with the final grid then. Mainly Lamborghini Huracans. We've got max power in a Porsche. We've got Blue Racer in a GTR, but the Lamborghini is going to be very dominant here. If you're enjoying this video, as always, give it a like. It tells me you do enjoy this content. And subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. Sometimes the videos just appear in your homepage. And you might go, oh, I thought I was subscribed, Tidge. I did that with Hoggy. I didn't even realise. And I apologise to Hoggy after it. We're going to head towards turn number 1, though. Blue Racer in that GTR. We're going to send it down the inside of that GTR in towards turn 1 we go. We've also got some Scirocco's up ahead of Hood Your Line and Shelty as we continue on through here. So I'm on the inside of that Porsche as we go into here, then up into P12. Where are those Scirocco's going to go? Are they going to understeer? It's the best front-wheel drive car that exists in Group 4. However, it's no match for a Lamborghini, that is for sure. Heading towards this right, I backed out of this one a little bit because I didn't want to make it 3 wide. But as we continue on through here, those Scirocco's going to understeer a little bit due to their drivetrain. I'm like, okay, I'll get on the inside here. Going to be outside for the next one. 3 wide, though, going into towards its left hand. Another 3 wide behind as well. This is brilliant racing from absolutely everybody. And as we continue on through here, I am the victor. I actually made it work. Unbelievable stuff, but brilliant racing from absolutely everybody. It really was. And they're still continuing behind. I'm going to just try and run away. That's what I'm going to do here. What we are going to do is advance a lap later where we catch up to Norman in that Lamborghini with those flames coming out the exhaust on that livery, which I did not notice when I was actually racing, but it does look awesome. We head up towards this fast right. We turn into here. Now, Norman, well, slowed down a bit more than I expected there, so apologies to Norman for that one. But we continue on. Norman's still ahead, so no harm, no foul here as we head towards the hairpin here for the second time of asking. Hard on the brakes we go then as we go into here. So I'm looking to try and get a run on the exit. Now, I saw Norman go towards the inside. So like, do you know what? I'm going to hang it around the outside here. And look at how that works. So I set that up because I could see what was coming. And because I could see it, you set it up, you get in their position. Happy days indeed. Are we behind it? Never quit 69 now? Nice. As we continue on through here. We've also got a penalty up ahead for a Ferrari 458. I do miss that car. I used to drive that all the time. You know, it used to be my favourite Group 4 car. It's just not that quick anymore versus this Lamborghini. In fact, nothing is that quick versus this Lamborghini anymore. It's actually quite annoying. We fast forward a little bit here as on the straight, I'm in the slipstream of that Ferrari up ahead and we gain another position. So we're up into P7 now. We are absolutely smashing this one. So we've got Hoggy up next in P5. Of course, I didn't show you them taking the penalty, but I just overtook them taking the penalty. Hoggy goes towards the right-hand side, but once again, the Lamborghini just continues on pulling here with that V10 engine. And we get ahead of Hoggy. Hoggy's still on the inside, though. Got to give it a little bit of space here. And we are up into P5 with Aris up ahead. The Greek driver, well, it's 9 a.m. for them. Well, it's 7 a.m. for me, if you always wonder why I look so tired on a Monday morning. 7 a.m. get up. Well, actually, it's 6 a.m. get up. But, yeah, we start racing at 7. So we get the inside of the Greek driver then. Up into P4 we go. And we are flying. There's no other words of saying it. We are flying right now through this grid. Lap number 4. With still plenty of the race to go. So a chance of a race victory here. Into the fast right we go at the end of lap number 4. Muscafi going to start the strategy off here by pitting on lap number 4. So this is what I like about this race, okay? You can pit lap 4, you can pit lap 5, you can pit lap 6, you can pit lap 7. The one thing you do have to be careful of is those front tyres. The front left especially, it does heat up quick. And a big tip there for this one. Cut the inside of the pit entry. You're absolutely fine to do that. You saw me do it there. And guess what? I do not get a penalty for that. It just gives you a bit more leniency as you come into the pits, you know, to use that inside and get around the corner. And I did catch up to Gov a little bit there on that pit entry. We're on pit exit now, and remember, Muscafi pitted earlier. Mario Sonic pitted 1 lap earlier as well. And look at this, Mario Sonic round the outside then, going to get the position, but with a penalty here, Muscafi right behind as well. Brilliant strategic racing here. I do like that with this race, you know. You've got different laps you can pit. You don't actually have to change your tyres in some cars. Some you definitely will. The Genesis you do, for example. Lamborghini, 50-50. I'd argue it's a bit slower to not change tyres, but maybe you want track position. However, if you want track position, don't change tyres, get ahead and try and defend for your life. Very much possible there, and you may win a race from doing that. You saw there, Mario Sonic, taking the penalty, and we tried on the inside of Gov there. Didn't quite work out here, but we are effectively fighting for the race lead right now with Hood Your Line still out, not pitting again on this particular lap, so definitely going for the no tyre change there in that Scirocco, remember. They're in that red Scirocco. We continue on towards the last corner here, and in we go. So looking to get the run through this corner. Gov took a slightly tighter line here as we get onto the start-finish straight. Mario Sonic behind, Gov up ahead. Now, Gov breaks there. That's a beautiful break of slipstream, actually, from Gov, because I wasn't expecting it. Over towards left side to retake that racing line. We're going to go towards the right-hand side here. Mario Sonic tries to follow suit here, but we carried on with that defensive move as we go into the braking zone here on the inside of Gov. We slow it down nicely. It's side-by-side action. Beautiful racing once again. It was brilliant racing this morning here on this particular race. But I do get ahead then. So effectively, I'm in P1 as we continue on through. Remember, you do have to pit. So Hudger Line has to pit at some point. And that gap of 13.7 seconds isn't enough, even with a no tyre change. We get towards the end of the race then, and I just flew away into the distance, and we come across in P1. You don't see me win these races very often as I start at the back, but I won right here. Now, in terms of this race, I've given this quite a high score. You can check out all the details down below in a pinned comment, of course. 7.5 out of 10. I like this race. And I always say slower cars mean better racing, and I think we've got a brilliant race in our hands this week in terms of that daily race C. Now, how do you do Catalunya no chicane? I'm about to explain. So on the right-hand side there, plus 0 brake balance. So I'm using 0 brake balance. That's what I'm trying to tell you there on that right-hand side. Now, as we head towards turn number 1, we've got 2 markers here. We've got the edge of the building on the right-hand side or the flag indicator on the left-hand side. Use either of these as your brake marker. Now, the Lamborghini Huracan likes lower gears, likes high revs. So this corner you can do in 2nd gear or 3rd gear. 2nd gear will give you a bit more instability, but arguably it may be quicker. I'm doing it in 3rd gear for that extra stability as I go through here. Now, we're going to go towards the right side here. We turn in, we lift off a little bit. You can see that I'm trying to maintain that speed. And what I'm actually looking for there is the orange painted barrier in the distance. It's a bit harder to see on this time of day, but it's there. You can see it right now. And we're using that as our accelerating marker. In the Huracan, you can do this before it hits the center of your screen. In other cars, you will have to wait towards the center of your screen. You can do that in 3rd gear or 4th gear. I stay in 4th gear for stability once again. And you can see there, I had loads of track on the exit that I could have still used here. So arguably I accelerated a bit too late there in that particular line I took. So for this right-hander, on the left-hand side, we've got the edge of the bridge or the 50 board. They're literally next to each other. Use that as your brake marker. This corner you want to do in 2nd gear. You want to drop the gears. And I drop to 2nd late here. You may want to try this. I think this was a bit slower. This was me going to do it in 3rd and then changing my mind mid-corner. On the left-hand side, we've got the orange painted barrier there. This is the first of 2 on the outside. The first one here, as it hits the edge of your screen, this is when you want to start accelerating. This corner opens up, okay? So it seems very tight at the moment. It seems silly to accelerate. The corner opens up, and you're seeing that right now. Look at that. It opens up, gives you a little bit more room to play with, allows you to carry that bit more speed. We head down towards the left-hander, but we are looking on the right. Where that building is, the toilets on the right-hand side. So literally the edge, the corner of the building there, I use that as a brake marker. Now for this left-hander, some people like a tight line. Some people like to V it. I like a later apex, but trying to keep it more of a U-shaped. And I talked about this in the time trial guide as well. A later apex just allows you to straighten up the car better on exit and means the car's not going to be as dramatic on the exit when you hit the power. As we continue now towards this fast chicane. Then the start of the curb on the right-hand side. Don't edge too much towards the right-hand side. If you clip the grass, you're going to go for a spin. Remember, Jomas did this a while ago. Sorry, Jomas. I say it every single time. But literally, start the curb there is your brake marker. 3rd gear, don't turn in too early because you'll mount the curb and it'll just be a mess. There are track limit issues on the exit. I can't speak here. But just stay on the red and white curbing and you should be fine. There's more track issues coming up here. Track limit issues. But first of all, on the left-hand side, the orange painted barrier, you can use that as a marker. Instead, I'm using the end of the curb. I always use the end of the curb here. You may want to dab the brakes and turn in, or lift off and turn in, or lift off and change down a gear as you turn in. They're the 3 options for you. Now, I'm staying 4th gear. Look at that sausage. I start accelerating as we continue on out. Now, remember, this is Group 4, so the cars are narrower. Normally, in Group 3, you can use all that curb on the exit. You won't get a track limit penalty. In Group 4, you will, so just be careful. Left-hand side, we've got Waterloo. On the right side, we've got the flag indicator or the 100 board, okay? Now, you actually want to break in between the flag indicator and the 100 board. I say Waterloo is on the left-hand side. It's Portaloo. It's Portaloo, folks, okay? I just said Waterloo instead. So, through the left we go as we continue on through here. First gear, bolt out to there, over towards the left-hand side. And then we're looking for the orange painted barrier there. Now, you can break in a straight line for this one. That's what I do. I don't really use that marker, but I always point that marker out in case you do want a marker for this corner. But it's all there on the left-hand side. You can see it very clearly on chase cam. In fact, even more clearly on chase cam because you got both sides of it. Let's go into here. I had to make a bit of an adjustment there. I came in a little bit too tight. But what you're looking for in terms of accelerating, the orange painted barrier up ahead or the sausage curb. Now, use these sausage curbs throughout Catalunya as your accelerating markers. They're really, really, really good to use. You can't see the exit right now, so you have to use these markers in order to accelerate. Otherwise, you're going to delay your throttle and you'll have a slow lap accordingly. We exit out of here then, and we've got 2 more markers to go. The first one, the tyres intersecting the red and white curbing. Just after that is when you're going to turn in. Now, you could be a hero here and try and maintain 100 miles an hour. I'm not doing that on this particular lap, but the fastest laps in the world will be doing that. So if you can try and do that, or get as close to it, you're going to be doing quite well here. So turn it in. You can cut a bit more than I did as well. as we head over towards the outside. Do be careful, track limits here. On the right side, the pit lane entry sign there. That is your final brake marker. Do you want to dab the brakes, chuck it in? If you can maintain 100 miles an hour, good for you. I don't think you can do it personally, so I always drop just below. But what you're looking for on the exit as well is the pit lane exit. And there it is as I start to accelerate out of the corner. We head towards the line. That's a 46.5. Remember, all the lap guides I show you, you can actually see on the leaderboard, or at least I will always have a time on the leaderboard, so do check it out. The bloopers there, and the NSX, you can see there, they just lost the rear. Literally, get out to the banking, the weight shifts, we're going at such high speeds, and the rear just goes on them right there. Mario Sonic there going for a spin. I am not sure what car that is. That is the brand new Nissan Z car, the one we're not getting in the United Kingdom. And look at this, there goes for a spin. The exact same situation happened there. The rear just lost a bit of weight over it, and then it goes for a spin. Just weight transfer issues at huge speeds is the problem. We'll jump aboard the wire. So this one was an interesting one. I've watched this back already. But look into here. I actually stay in my lane. The wire comes down into my lane, which is where the contact happens. And that's where I got confused. Because initially I was like, was this actually my fault? But I looked at it in detail. No, it's just a case of a narrowing gap there. There's 3 wide, 4 wide. It's an incident that will happen consistently throughout this week on Daily Race A. Daily Race B here. Gianni then. In towards the right we go. Oh, slightly pushed off the circuit there. That's unfortunate for Gianni. And it will do a BMW here in terms of wheel spinning in very low gears. So do be careful of that if you use that car this week. In towards the kink we go. So booming is going to go booming off because they clip the sausage and go absolutely flying there in the Porsche 911. So try to avoid that. Everyone's done it though. So, you know, don't hate yourself for it. Just have a laugh about it. I will laugh about this one as well. Huggy comes into the pits, being very cautious. Unfortunately, a bit too cautious into the pit wall. And that is the end of Huggy. And that is going to be the end of this video. I do hope you have enjoyed it, folks. If you did, as always, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Check out those partners down below and use those links or discount code. 2 videos there to check out. And I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. And also, a happy birthday to Gran Turismo. 27 years old today. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you in another video live stream again very soon.